All right, you guys, get ready for this one. Crocodile myth.
Is it that they live in the sewers?
No.
Is it that crocodiles have tears?
No. This one is, if you're getting chased by a crocodile, you can easily escape it by running in a zigzag pattern, because they cannot turn corners.
In the water, the crocodile is a lightning-quick ambush predator. In that explosive split second when they strike, crocodile lunges have been clocked at around 30 miles an hour. Lunging is one thing, running is another. According to the myth, if you're being chased by a crocodile, all you have to do is run in a zigzag, because their long bodies and short legs cannot make sharp turns.
All right, you guys, this one seems a little dangerous. How do you think we should test it?
Let's use Buster first. We'll build a rig that pulls him in a straight line, and then one that pulls him in a zigzag.
Well, let's try to make this a little interesting instead of just sticking a stake to Buster's butt. Maybe we can make a pair of meat legs.
How do you make meat legs?
Don't ask me.
Guess that'll be your job. We'll build the rig.
The plan is to dangle a dummy from a remote-controlled trolley, which moves from side to side. The trolley, in turn, will be suspended from a steel track. As the trolley is pulled along the track, those juicy meat legs will zigzag. Then they'll take the rig to a croc farm and see if they can make some reptiles run. But this time, believe it or not, Buster's off the hook.
The rig that we're gonna have to put up is going to be suspended. Therefore, my Buster needs to be really, really lightweight. I'm gonna make him entirely out of foam for a torso, and then I might have a little surprise for his legs.
Soon, a new foam Buster is rising like a cake in an oven.
As you can see, he's very light, and it's not gonna put a whole lot of strain on the rig.
This new lightweight Buster hasn't got a leg to stand on, but Kari has a pair of meat legs all mapped out.
What are these?
They're fishnet stockings.
He'll be wearing fishnet stockings.
Give me all your cash!
And they'll be stuffed with quail. But these are not like any frozen bird you might find in your supermarket.
See,
Oh my God!
I can't do this.
They got feathers on them still.
I can't do this.
You know what? They're not even gutted.
It's a quail sickle.
Put it down! Put it down! No, seriously.
I've never
You are
juggled dead quails before.
So messed up. Put these down, go back to working whatever you're working on, because I have a really busy day of putting dead birds in sexy lingerie.
Now, there's a sentence you don't hear every day. And here's another. Kari has to choose the lingerie least likely to come apart while being chewed.
You've got nylon, you got spandex, you got cotton, and I need to test and see which one of these are gonna be the best for the crocodiles to be able to hold on to.
With the different stocking stuffed, Kari takes a scalpel and makes like a crocodile tooth.
I think I'm going with the 100% cotton fishnet stockings.
According to the myth, outrunning a crocodile is not straightforward. It's a zigzag. Kari's foam and fishnet Buster bait is ready. Meanwhile, Tori's got the croc rig on track.
So I have my 2-inch steel tube. This is gonna be our track that's gonna go over the crocodiles. And so now what I'm gonna do is build the trolley, and the trolley will carry the dummy along that run, and the crocodile will have something to chase.
Getting the dummy to move in a straight line will be relatively simple. But making it zigzag, not so easy. Grant's working on the remote-controlled trolley.
Foam guy is actually going to be mounted on this, and this will be hanging actually upside down, so he'll move across like that. Motor here, the sprocket. As the sprocket turns, it moves the chain back and forth.
Next, the zigzag rig has to be calibrated for human speed.
So what we're going to do is lay out a grid on the floor of our shop, take a shot from overhead, and just run a bunch of zigzags and see what the best time is.
The grid is made up of 12-inch squares. It's 12 feet long and 9 feet wide.
No, the crocodile!
Question is, what constitutes a zigzag?
Well, I'm pretty sure that the essence of this myth comes from the fact that they have those long, rigid bodies. So it's not sort of like a weird hopping thing like they're snapping and you're just jumping, but it's more of a...
So you're going to try and hit the corners as fast as you can rather than like hopscotch jumping.
Yeah.
What the heck was that? What was that? Was a mouse chasing you?
It's really hard to do the turns.
One by one, the guys run a series of zigzags across the grid.
What I was trying to do is actually maximize the side to side. You know?
But it may have saved your life due to the fact that that crocodile right now is in a belly laugh. He can't even move. He's like cramping.
Then Grant studies the high-speed footage. By counting how many frames it takes to move across one square on the grid, he can time each run and come up with an average speed. And it is very average.
The average speed in the X direction, which is the long direction that you're going to be handling, is 7.6 feet per second.
That works out to be only 5 miles per hour. Some crocs have been clocked running at more than twice that speed. So will our cross-dressing dummy be fast enough to escape? Time to see what this croc rig can do.
That was some crazy quail swing in action.
He zigs, he zags. Unfortunately, he also sees and saws. Tori has a plan to straighten Buster up.
I just want to get rid of the seesaw effect that this dummy is having. So what I'm going to do is I'm welding up some bars on either sides. I'm going to put some cables on the ends of those and put the cables through pulleys that are attached to the trolley, and hopefully that will get rid of that seesaw effect.
With the guide wires in place, they try again.
New improved Buster test, take one. Let's go.
That's great.
I'm happy with it.
So's Kari.
So that weird Buster rig is actually working really, really good.
Hey, nice meat legs, by the way.
Well, where are we going to get some crocs? Because clearly, there aren't any around here.
The only place we're going to be able to get crocodiles to chase us is going to be in Florida. So pack your bags.
Field trip!
It's time to croc and roll.
Florida, here we come.
Here we go.
Can you escape a crocodile by running in a zigzag? To find out, Kari, Tori, and Grant have harnessed all their know-how and built a zigzag rig. Now they're off on a reptile recce.
We are now here in Florida at St. Augustine Alligator Farm, and they're crazy enough to let us try our Buster rig on some of these alligators and crocodiles. What does it mean when they hiss?
When they hiss, they feel a little threatened because you're getting a little bit too close to them, so they're kind of unhappy with your presence right now.
They're unhappy.
Whoa!
Sorry.
You make the prettiest noises.
St. Augustine is the only farm in the world to have all 23 species of crocodilian. Director John Brugan has heard the zigzag myth many times.
The crocodile's going in a straight line, you're kind of going in a zigzag. I think you're going to meet a couple times in there. It doesn't sound so good to me, but it's worth trying.
They choose a good straight run and assemble the rig. Soon, Buster 2's got his fetching, quail-filled fishnets on. Now, it's croc time.
These are very dangerous animals, so it's important that you're listening to the keepers. Listen to David and Kevin. They'll tell you where to be if something goes wrong. They're gonna be yelling at you. They don't mean any disrespect, but they're gonna tell you to get somewhere quickly.
Hope you were listening, Tori. You're going to help wrangle the first reptile.
I've been watching a lot of professional wrestling on television, so I've learned some wrestling moves, and I'm gonna try them out on this crocodile.
The Cuban crocodile is one of the quickest and most aggressive crocodiles on the planet. A perfect candidate for the zigzag test. If they can catch one, that is.
We'll get the animal secured, hold the mouth shut, and then you'll actually tape the jaw shut so it's no longer able to bite us.
What?
You're going to tape the mouth shut.
That's what he thought you said.
Give Kevin that mouth bowl.
Wow!
Okay.
He's gonna submit in 2 seconds. Tap out! Tap out, sucker!
So is that better than playing with robots?
Oh my gosh, this is my new favorite job. How do I sign up?
I think you just did.
Okay, here we go. Can the Cuban croc catch those zigzagging quail legs? Tori's poised to pull the dummy along the track. Using the remote control, Grant twitches Buster's delicious legs. Our reptile doesn't seem tempted, although its potential speed is obvious when it suddenly rounds on its keepers.
Whoa.
They keep trying to tease the croc into a chase, but the beast just won't budge.
Senor.
So they wheel out a second Cuban.
Okay, so this is the new one, the fresh crocodile.
Here we go. Jiggling. Tasty. Come on. Take a bite.
But no cigar. The reptiles just won't run.
A big part of the problem may very well be that it knows it's not a person.
How can it tell?
Conditions are perfect. Crocs are the most active at this time of the year, and the humid, steamy weather means they shouldn't be sluggish.
No interest whatsoever.
I'm starting to feel extremely defeated. There's a run in my stockings and there's no crocodile running.
You know what they say about children and animals in the
towel?
film industry.
You said it, Tori. Animal myths are notoriously difficult to bust. Remember skunk cleaning? Adam and Jamie set out to test a bunch of skunk smell home remedies. Only problem was, they couldn't get a skunk to kick up a stink.
Well, it doesn't work. Can we go now?
Back in Crocodile Alley, the test subjects are refusing to chase Buster's meat legs in a zigzag or any other configuration. Luckily, the MythBusters have a plan B.
We're actually going to take a quail and put it on my robot here, and this is a battle-ready combat robot. So if, unfortunately, an animal gets a hold of it in its jaws, it is built for combat, so it probably will stand up.
With its cargo of quail in place, Grant's robot sets out on its mission. Looking like the Mars rover, it parks near the edge of a pool, well within striking distance. Grant's poised to hit the accelerator at the first crocodilian quiver. But apparently, this croc doesn't feel like Meals on Wheels.
We're having a hard time getting this crocodile to come to the surface of the water, so I'm gonna try to entice it with some quail, and I'm just gonna drop it right in front of his nose, or her nose.
Tori ventures close and throws the bird. Nothing, not a ripple.
I don't think he's coming out the water.
Well, the trainers here say that they're naturally secretive animals, and what's more, they're not stupid.
Yeah, he seems pretty spooked by your robot.
No response to the rig, no response to the robot. You can't say the MythBusters aren't trying.
You know, those crocodiles seem like they're slow on land, but shooting out of the water, they're lightning.
Well, actually, I've done a little bit more research, and it turns out in almost every crocodile or alligator attack, since they've been keeping records, the victim has been in or near the water.
Well then, what are the rules to avoid being chomped?
First, if there are any warning signs, don't go in the water. Second, if you fall into the water, get out as quickly as possible. And third, never ever dangle your legs or arms over the side of the boat.
I think we can handle these rules.
There's only one thing left. Plan C. That's C for crazy. Tori's gonna put his behind on the line and get a croc to chase him instead. Tori, Kari, and Grant have been wrestling with the myth that crocodiles can't run in a zigzag. So far, they haven't been able to coax a croc into running at all. You know what they say about desperate times and desperate measures.
We've tried everything to get these crocodiles to chase the food, but apparently nothing's working. So we're gonna try a different approach. We're gonna try to see if we can get them to chase us out of aggression. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually suit up with some protective gear, get in there, try to agitate the crocodiles, and see if they'll chase me.
Tori's going out on a limb. Let's just hope all his are still there when it's over.
So let's say one of them does get a hold of my leg. What will you do to
I will
break that hold?
I will do everything I can to ease your pain as quickly as possible.
He has a stick.
And this is actually more for
knock me
you.
out with the
Yes,
stick.
exactly. The quicker you lose consciousness, the better off it is for you. Yes.
Tori's legs will be well protected. Unfortunately, the heavy padding will also slow him down.
Wait, the safety protection caused me to fall down. Protective gear is hindering me from running away from the crocodile.
Nevertheless, he's ready for a face-to-face croc confrontation. The Johnston's crocodile is found in Australian waters. It's smaller than the Cuban croc, but fast and fiercely territorial.
So this is the first test, chasing Tori with the Johnston's crocodile.
What do you think's gonna happen?
I think you can catch him.
Can Tori snatch victory from the jaws of defeat? Was that an unfortunate turn of phrase? Once again, provoking a croc attack proves to be a lot harder than you'd think. But if he succeeds, Tori will have to remember to run in a zigzag. Suddenly, the crocodile lunges, but doesn't continue the chase beyond that initial strike. The experiment ends with Tori intact.
When it came out of the water and it was just standing there looking at me, hissing and like lunging, my heart was going, 1,000 miles a minute. I was just like freaking out.
And he's starting to draw some conclusions about this myth.
I don't think you're gonna have to worry about it. I think you're more worried about getting away from that initial explosive attack. If you can get away from that, you're pretty much gonna be okay.
Actually, Tori, you're spot on. In the wild, crocodiles don't chase prey on land. They're ambush predators, attacking from the water. Escape that initial lunge, and you're pretty much home free. That's crocodiles. But what about alligators? Grant wants to try one more experiment, swapping the crocs for their cousins.
Okay, David, so up to this point, we've been using crocodiles. They haven't been going for the food, but we hear you have some trained alligators.
We have 3 good candidates in here today. We have Fluffy, Skipper, and Bob. And with any luck, one of those will come at you at full speed.
Fluffy, Skipper, Bob. Gee, with names like that, it must be hard not to smile at a crocodile.
You should lay the food about maybe a foot in front of his head.
Oh, okay, that close.
Yes,
Okay.
that close.
Using his most commanding voice, Grant calls the animal.
Skipper! Skipper!
I said commanding voice.
Skipper! Skipper!
Skipper follows the bait, but he's not setting any land speed records. So then Kari plays gator baiter, trying to lure her living dinosaur in a zigzag.
Oh, yes, you're just freaking me out now, Smiley. Yay! This way! All right.
You're the most popular girl in the lagoon.
I don't know if she's more afraid of the alligator or the bird.
The alligator slowly changes direction to follow Kari. But is that a zigzag as defined by the myth?
I did a zig, I did a zag. He could follow me, but only sort of in a curvy motion, not really sharp turns, and it didn't make me get away from him any better or any faster.
Let's face it, this myth is looking more and more, if you'll pardon the expression, like a croc.
Man, we threw everything at this one, including ourselves. I don't know what more we could have done.
Yeah, I'm really frustrated. We didn't even get to try our croc zigzag rig. We were in the right place at the right time of year on a hot day with cranky crocodiles and their food of choice, and they still wouldn't chase.
I mean, we even strapped quails to your robot, and we couldn't get those crocodiles to chase it.
Well, doesn't that in itself prove something? Forget the zigzag. Crocodiles are just not gonna chase you on land.
Yeah, they're ambush predators. If they miss you that first time, they're just gonna wait until some easier prey comes along.
So this whole zigzag theory is just ridiculous. I mean, you're never gonna use it because they're never gonna chase you.
It's ridiculous, and what's more, it's busted.
Busted.
Totally busted.
It's the MythBusters Superhero Special, and superheroes big and small are getting put to the test. And next up, a superhero myth with a very familiar ring.
Are you ready for a fun, violent myth? It involves punching, scarring, and none other than the Phantom. He's a superhero that left that nasty calling card on all of his evildoers.
Yeah, you know, he's that guy that could punch people so hard that he'd leave a scar in the shape of a skull from his ring.
The bling's the thing in this comic book classic. A superhero swings and adds imprint to injury by branding the baddie with an indelible ring scar. But is that possible even for a superhero?
So how are we gonna do this one?
Well, Kari, I really don't think we should test this on each other because personally, I don't want to risk a permanent scar on my face.
If we can't punch each other, who are we gonna punch?
Well, it sounds like we're gonna need a human analog. So it looks like it's pig time.
Perfect. I think we should use human force as a control, and then I'll build a machine to punch with the force of a heavyweight prize fighter.
That's good. That'll give us the maximum strength that a person can punch with.
And if that doesn't work, we'll go superhuman.
Well, you deal with the pig and you build the robot. That means I get to build a MythBuster Phantom skull ring.
The guys won't be pulling any punches. They'll make a fake fist, complete with skull ring, and attach it to an air-powered punching rig. The rig has to hit like a human, so Grant sets up the force plate.
We're gonna see what we can punch, then we're going to calibrate our robot to punch the same amount, and we'll see what we get.
Soon the fists are flying. But none of these guys have super strength. The best of the three was Tori's, which peaked at a rather feeble 1,750 newtons.
But our research says that the upper range, which is a heavyweight boxer, is about 4,000 newtons.
Wow.
Oh my God!
Dude, we're not even close.
As we know, Grant was raised by robots. And given that special affinity, he soon got a punching machine ready to swing.
Okay, so this is our superhero punching rig. Now our air cylinder is right here, and the fist goes on the end of this. And when we're ready, we go, and that gives you a punch.
Tori's making a good fist of, making a fist.
What I'm doing right now is I'm casting my hand in a fist shape because we're gonna be needing to punch a bunch of times at superhero strength, and we want a hand that's not gonna break like mine may have.
That's the theory. And by using a combination of ballistics gel and urethane hardener, Tori should get a fist that can roll with the punches.
All right, so the fist looks great. It's really, really hard, but it's still rubber, so it shouldn't shatter when we start punching with superhero strength.
Meanwhile, Kari's designed some superhero-style rings and carved them in wax.
To keep with the Phantom theme, I've got a skull. Also incorporated the MB from MythBusters to make it a little bit more ours. Next step is to take all of these rings that I've carved down to the crucible, get them cast up in metal. I need these two in adamantium and these two in kryptonite.
We don't have either of those, but we do have sterling silver.
Sterling silver will do nicely. But talking of kryptonite,
How can we even go near an episode about superheroes without talking about Superman, the caped wonder himself? But we do know Superman's fatal weakness, don't we? Yes, kryptonite. And last year in Serbia, a mineral was found that matched the properties of kryptonite. It's called sodium lithium boron silicate hydroxide. Unfortunately, they can't call it kryptonite because it doesn't have anything to do with krypton, an actual element in the periodic table, and it's not green. Maybe it's got a negative effect on Superman, but we haven't found him yet.
faster than a speeding bullet, Kari's rings are ready.
Criminals beware the mark of the MythBuster.
Whoa! Cool! Let me see.
Dude, you look like a rapper.
That is cool.
Tori glues one of the rings on his dummy fist.
The Phantom, he always has his punching ring on his middle finger. Now we can start fighting crime.
What will happen when pig and air-powered pugilist clash? Will the mark of the MythBusters be buried in bacon?
This pig won't know what hit him.
Or maybe he will. We go 3, 2, 1.
The rig matched Tori's knuckle-busting punch, 1,750 newtons. Remember, this is what happens in the comics. Just one punch, and the villain's got a permanent skull scar. But how about in real life?
No devastating scars.
I see the edge of something there.
Yeah, but there's no, like, indentation of the skull.
That means Tori's punch isn't enough to do it, so we need to ramp this up to the most powerful punch we know to human, which would be the prize fighter.
Oh, not Jamie Hyneman?
Okay.
All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Dude, that was a great solid punch.
That was a good hit.
All right.
You knocked him out!
Yeah.
And no scar. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna ramp it up to superhero strength, punch it again. Hopefully we'll get a scar. But if we don't, we're gonna have to think of something else.
They max out the air pressure, 120 psi. Grant's robot takes a superhuman swing.
Hey. Wow, that knocked the pig off the forklift.
But still no mark of the MythBusters. They're not making much of an impression on this superhero myth.
Well, we're not getting any scarring on the pig rump so far. This is looking busted.
Yeah, I know. This doesn't look like it's gonna work at all.
Well, if I were gonna leave my gruesome calling card on an evildoer, I wouldn't be hitting the soft, fleshy parts. I'd be hitting him in the face.
You know what? That would actually work to our advantage. If you were to punch somebody in the forehead, that's thin skin and thin muscle stretched over a hard surface, that might actually leave a scar.
Old Yorick here, who we all knew well, was last seen being turned into a lockpick kebab as the guys burst a car airbag myth. And now he's back for some superhero science. First up, Tori gives the skull a little pigskin for the ring to ram.
So, you named your guy there?
Yes.
What did you name him?
Pork loinio.
You did not.
He's an evil pig man.
Okay, Pork Loinio, you asked for it. Prepare to feel the sting of the ring. First, at Tori's force.
3, 2, 1. Nice punch! He clobbered him.
Oh, good hit.
It's definitely a good punch to the head, and it would hurt a lot, but I don't see a scar in the shape of a skull, just a mild contusion.
Tori failed to land the knockout blow to confirm this superhero classic. How about a heavyweight?
Here we go. This is heavyweight fighter strength in 3, 2, 1. No, I don't see any skull in the flesh.
It sure was ugly, but 4,000 newtons wasn't enough to put the sign of the skull on old Pork Loinio. Even in this best-case taut skin scenario.
Superhero strength?
Yeah.
Okay, the gloves are off. The fist flashes at 120 psi.
3, 2, 1.
Was a shot.
And Pork Loinio's feeling a little crushed.
You might not leave it, you know, like the print of the ring, but you're definitely gonna rip through the scalps.
There's no way to leave a perfect skull-shaped scar without doing more permanent damage. This superhero myth, like our comic book criminal, is out for the count.
I guess we can call this one right here. We don't need to go any further.
You feeling it's busted?
Just like a skull.
Busted.
All superheroes have costumes, some better than others. But can you really get changed in a phone booth in time to save the day?
What's in the bag? Superhero costumes. There's one more myth that we want to test. It's not really a myth, but we want to see how fast we can change into a super outfit before we go fight crime. All right, who wants to go first?
I'll go.
All right.
When Kari Byron gets the call for help, she doesn't waste a second.
I like she does the hair flip.
She wins my vote.
Emerging mere moments later as the one and only Myth Girl.
Stopping the time. You did it in 33 seconds.
So Kari could get changed in the cramped space, but hardly at superhero speeds. Can Grant do any better? Will he have to phone for help to get out?
Come on, get out. And time. Stop. Myth Girl has beaten you. Your time was 1 minute and 1 second.
It's the last chance for this crew. Can Tori strip faster than a speeding bullet?
You got too many accessories.
Minute 20.
Tori was the slowest, but villains can never rest. Not whenever the spasms on their trail. Wait a minute, spasms?
He has muscle spasms, so the bad guys never know when he's gonna attack. Can be here or here. Sometimes I don't even know.
Well, I may have had 33 seconds, which was the quickest time, but I need that extra time so that I can catch up to the boys in these spiked stiletto heels.
You know, you can't be Grant Man all the time. Sometimes you just have to be Grant.
Should we go fight crime?
Yeah, let's.
Let's go.
We're flying high in a superhero special, and the next myth combines cars and comic book craziness.
Next up, Batmobile 90-degree turn.
Batman, to get away from the bad guys screaming down the street, and to escape, all he has to do is push a button that deploys a grappling hook, grabs onto his steel structure, and it whirls him around the corner. And the crooks can't get him.
Dude, that sounds awesome.
Holy awesomeness, Grant Man. Let's see how this myth works. During our comic strip car chase, our hero hits a button, and a grappling hook fires from the car, wraps itself around a steel structure, and swings our superheroes through a high-speed 90-degree turn to safety.
We have to build a cannon capable of firing a grappling hook. A grappling hook strong enough to hold the force of a car, and if all that works, hope that the structure doesn't crumple.
Here's the plan. The guys will mount an air-powered cannon in a car, fire a grappling hook at speed, and see if the cable can swing the car around a right-angle bend. First things first, though, this myth needs wheels.
Obviously, we're gonna need a car for all this, and I have the perfect one in mind. Jamie and Adam just did a Knight Rider myth, and they have a car just rusting out in the parking lot.
The MythMobile.
Did you just come up with that?
Yeah, I did.
The Joker aside, this car is perfect for this myth because it's already been fitted with a roll cage and safety harnesses, which means all Kari and Tori have to do is transform the transport into something more befitting a superhero.
Oh, this is gonna be the coolest Batmobile ever!
Meanwhile, Grant's finding out more about the serious physics facing them in this myth.
And one thing we have to consider with this myth is that we're going from a straight path, once we hook onto that structure, into a circular one. Now, this induces a force that points inwards towards the center, called centripetal force. And you can calculate that based on the weight of the car, the distance from the center, and the speed that you're going. Now, I've run the numbers, and we should be experiencing about 7,000 pounds, and that's going to be the tension on the cable. So we're going to select our cable to be more than adequate to handle that amount of force.
Will the MythMobile be able to cope with that kind of hardcore cornering? One thing it can turn is heads.
What do you think of the car?
Cool.
See?
Okay, the MythMobile is ready. That's stage one. Stage two, they need a grappling hook. The comic book hook opens on hinges. Tori's built an identical version, but something about it just doesn't grab him.
My feeling is there's no way this is strong enough to hold the force of a car. You know, you have these pivot points, those are probably gonna break. The way I look at it is it would have to be a solid piece of steel and a lot beefier to hold the force of a car.
To test his theory, Tori connects the bat hook to the bat forklift and ties the bat cable to the bat truck.
My feeling is it's probably gonna rip this hook to shreds, which is okay, because I like breaking things.
Kari backs up, and just as Tori predicted, the hook can't hold.
There's no way that's gonna hold a car.
They call me the cougar. All right, it looks like the hinge grappling hook is just way too weak. I don't think it's gonna work.
Well, that's myth busted right there, isn't it?
Oh, I kinda wanna keep going. I think if we use a solid steel grappling hook, that might work.
Well, I've got an idea for an air cannon to launch the grappling hook, but if you're gonna use solid steel, we're gonna have to make it a lot more powerful. And I have the answer. I'm gonna use nitrogen, which will give us up to 3,000 PSI of working pressure.
Oh my God.
Dude, that sounds superhero-y.
3,000 PSI? To put that into perspective, Grant's cannon will be 60 times more powerful than Adam and Jamie's famous chicken gun. But because it has to fit into a superhero's car, it'll be much more compact.
Holy air cannon, Grant man.
How long have you been waiting to unleash that one?
All day.
Waiting all day.
Waiting for that one.
You know, this is actually the most dangerous thing I've built in a long line of dangerous things.
And to show just how dangerous, Grant does some test fires with a steel tube.
I like to call this impact art. It represents man's inhumanity to man.
Although its aim is a little inconsistent, Grant can't help but dial the pressure up to the max. And there's a problem.
The projectile missed my target board, missed the mattress, and lodged itself in the wall. I can see daylight through there. I might have to go have a chat with them. Hi, I just wanted to let you know I had a little accident in the shop and I punched a small hole through the wall.
While Grant apologizes to the neighbors, Tori's bending steel like Superman. Except Superman doesn't have to heat his up first.
All right, so the grappling hook is done. We weighed it, it weighs 10.5 pounds. Now we're gonna put it in the air cannon and see how far it goes.
This time the cannon's at 2/3 power. Will that be enough to send 10 pounds of solid steel through the air, comic book style?
All right, you ready?
Oh, so ready.
2200, real hook. In 3, 2, 1.
The cannon launched the hook all right. It also launched itself clean off the table.
Where's the camera?
Where's the high-speed camera?
The phrase loose cannon comes to mind.
You know what? We didn't take into consideration the mass of the hook.
Oh, Newton's laws.
Whoa,
We
dude.
forgot the Newton's laws.
Oh, you mean the one that says for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction?
Look at that.
You know, we've done a lot of experiments on the show. Things have gone wrong, but that's the first time that I've ever felt that much danger.
So for test 2, they lock the cannon in place.
In 3, 2, 1.
And get a perfect result.
Wow.
Nice.
The grappling hook flew straight as an arrow. So bring on the MythMobile. Stunt-driving superheroes only have to fire a grappling hook at a convenient roadside structure and their car squeals through a 90-degree turn at super speed. The MythBusters want to see what the laws of physics have to say about that. Our intrepid trio have test-fired their grappling hook at 2,000 PSI.
So now we have a working cannon, a working grappling hook, and a MythMobile. It's time to marry the three together.
The cannon is mounted on a heavy-duty bracket directly behind the passenger seat, and a hole cut to make room for the barrel.
Cool. It fits.
So the cannon's working, the hook is strong. I think we're ready to go.
But we're gonna have to find something that's gonna be strong enough that once we grapple onto it, the weight of the car isn't just gonna rip it down.
Well, we've been looking at railway supports, radio towers, and lamp posts. And funnily enough, no one is willing to let us wreck their structures for our experiment.
We're gonna have to build something, aren't we?
Yeah.
At an old abandoned naval base nearby, the time-lapse kicks in, and the team has its steel structure, complete with nooks and crannies for a hook to hook into. They mark out their 90-degree turn and make a mini Mythum City out of boxes.
The next thing we have to do is establish a speed at which you cannot make that 90-degree turn without the grappling hook. That will be our starting speed.
So first up, with the hook under wraps, they're going to find out the speed at which turning the corner without a grappler is impossible, starting with 20 miles an hour.
Okay, you're gonna go 20 miles an hour trying to make that 90-degree turn.
And go.
Reach 20 miles an hour.
They've reached 20 miles an hour, and they're still conscious. These speeds are terrifying. And she made it. No crashing into Mythum City. All right, back to the start.
So at 20, taking the turn was straightforward. But at 30, it's a different story.
Kari, what happened?
Turn the wheel, it locked, skid completely into it. It went.
Kari lost control at 30 miles per hour. So that'll be the speed for our first grappling hook test.
This is all a little frightening. We've seen what this grappling hook can do, and now we're going to drive and fire it.
Our superhero special is accelerating towards its climax. Kari, Tori, and Grant are all set to discover if their grappling hook cannon can let them make a superhero-style 90-degree turn without slowing down. Every precaution has been taken. Kari and Grant are in full safety gear. There's a ballistics panel between them and the cannon. The car has been fitted with roll bars, and the grappling hook rope is on a quick release.
There's a quick release, which is going to be remote controlled by Tori. If he doesn't let that quick release go at the right time, we could flip around and careen into this building. So now is when this experiment starts to get scary.
The key to success is the rope. Once the hook grabs hold, the line will have to withstand 7,000 pounds of centripetal force.
This is the highest performance material you can buy these days. It's used by the military. In strength for weight ratio, it's stronger than steel.
All right, this is the plan. Kari's gonna drive down this road. She's gonna get up to 30 miles an hour. At this point, Grant's gonna fire the cannon, bang. The hook is gonna grapple onto our structure. As soon as the rope gets taut, she's gonna make the turn around the 90-degree turn. As soon as they get to this point, I'm gonna quick release the rope and they'll be able to drive off.
All right, guys, here we go.
Is this comic strip stunt possible? If so, will it take superhero strength to keep the Mythmobile under control? Kari hits 30 miles per hour. Grant triggers the cannon. The hook hits the target, but disaster strikes.
Whoa!
We did not complete our superhero mission. We did not make a 90-degree turn with a grappling hook. But there is good news. It was not due to human factor. As you can see from the skid marks, my driving was right on course. If you can see from the footage, Grant's aim was perfect. The grappling hook looked like it would have gotten into the perfect place, but the rope broke. Now, luckily, we have a thicker rope, so we're not beat yet.
The new, thicker rope's made from the same high-tech material. And like its predecessor, it's strong, but also flexible enough to wrap the pole. Just what this myth needs.
You guys ready?
Standing by.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
Once again, our dynamic duo put the pedal to the metal and their lives on the line as they try to make the hair-raising hairpin bend.
We hit it!
She made it. Did my eyes deceive me or did she just make that turn?
Actually, Tori, your eyes did deceive you. The firing was spot on. The car started to make the turn, but just when the G-force maxed out, the rope snapped again, and the car plowed into the buildings.
Now we had it!
I know!
It was too good to be true.
It's all right. Metropolis wasn't built in a day.
Now, let me remind you what the situation is here. I'm trying to hit a target this big from the side of a car moving at 30 miles an hour with a nitrogen-powered cannon. Not exactly the easiest thing to do in the world.
Despite Grant's difficulties, everything's working. Kari's maintaining correct course and speed. Grant's right on the money firing the cannon. The only weak link is the one connecting Mythmobile to grappling hook. But they've got one last chance.
We're going to replace the high-strength, high-tech fiber rope with 3/8 inch steel cable.
The steel cable has a breaking strength of almost 15,000 pounds, but it comes at a price. It's so heavy and inflexible that it may not be able to wrap around the structure. This is the final throw of the dice.
All right, release the hound.
Grant buckles up, Kari revs up, and they both get fired up. It's now or never for this myth.
This is the one.
What happened?
I think we have a result here, you guys.
Curses, foiled again. The Mythmobile still couldn't make the turn. It left the road and careered into peak hour pedestrians. Not a good look for a superhero.
The entire car just jerked really, really hard to the left and then let go.
As the steel cable jerked tight, it broke not once, but twice, at the hook and the car. Despite its immense braking strength, it snapped as if it were cotton twine.
This is where the hook was connected to the cable, and it totally shredded. I mean, it's like, it's just not strong enough. This cable is not strong enough. This one's looking busted.
This myth needs a cable that just doesn't exist. One that's lightweight so it can be fired, flexible so that it can wrap, yet immensely strong to withstand the massive force. Looks like this superhero myth will be confined to the comics. Next, the team is hitting the sauce for science.
Well, thanks to this, I can't actively participate in the next myth, which I'm pretty thrilled about because what we have in store for you two is painful, nauseating, and downright nasty.
This is like a running theme for you, isn't it?
All right, what is it this time?
This myth is actually about the morning after. Stick to beer, you're in the clear. Beer and liquor, never sicker.
So assuming you consume the same amount of alcohol, a night on beer alone will leave you feeling better the next day than if you mix your drinks.
Exactly.
So we're not just getting drunk for science, we have to get hangovers?
You'll be suffering for science, Tori.
Ugh.
Because according to this saying, by sticking to beer and not mixing drinks, you can minimize the hurt the morning after. But testing that ain't gonna be fun.
All right, so how are we gonna test this one?
Well, it sounds pretty simple. First, we get drunk on beer only and find a way to quantify our hangover. Then we get drunk again on beer and liquor and compare.
Well, you know what? It's very important that we consume the same amount of alcohol for each test. That way, this is an accurate comparison.
And to keep things scientific, the drinks need to be the only variable. So first off, you need to eat the same thing for each day of testing. Secondly, you need to do the testing at the same time each day. And third, I think it's important that you take a few days off to recover fully before we test you again.
Yes!
And one more thing. To make sure that there's no cheating, you two are gonna be sleeping here in the shop.
What?
It's the only way I can assure that you're gonna show up for a 6 a.m. hangover test.
Why do we need to get up at 6 a.m.?
Well, it's all about maximizing hangovers and controlling variables. For a scientific comparison of both hangovers, Grant and Tori will eat and sleep in an identical way for each test. But most importantly, for both sessions, they'll consume exactly the same volume of alcohol.
Ugh.
And to ensure their stay is comfortable, Kari and her MythBusters minions get to work on Hangover HQ.
Touch of class. Now that the rooms are all built and completely decorated, it's time to create my my testing area. We're going to run a gamut of tests to find out which is a worse hangover, beer or beer with spirits.
And after consulting with a hangover specialist, Kari has built the Throne of Moan. This will test for the 6 crucial symptoms of a hangover. The first 2 being sensitivity to light and sound.
Basically, these lights are gonna start low and get brighter and brighter till they say stop.
Okay.
Right there?
Yeah, that's good.
Now, on to sound, volume and duration. We'll start at a low volume and we'll get louder and louder until they just can't take it anymore.
Stop!
Thirdly, to test just how well their hungover brains are functioning,
Boys will be looking at a series of 10 pictures, which they need to remember all of and in order. Each test, the pictures will be the same, but the order will change. You're doing good.
When you talk, it breaks my concentration.
Next up,
Then they move on to the headache assessment. They're going to decide between 1 and 10 how bad their headache is, because everybody knows a really bad headache goes along with a really bad hangover.
I'm gonna have to give it a 9.
Ooh.
fifth, to test the level of dehydration, it's the pinch.
You pinch your skin for 3 seconds. If you're a healthy, hydrated person, it snaps right back into place. But if you're dehydrated, your skin will stick there and slowly go back to normal. Whoa.
Creepy.
We're going to film that on high speed so that we can get exactly how long it takes for them to go back to normal.
And for the final symptom, nausea, Kari has just the thing.
This chair is based on a NASA motion sickness chair that they use for the astronauts. Now this is how we're gonna use it. We're gonna turn up to maximum spin, and they're gonna move their heads forward, back, side, side, until either they cry for mercy or they vomit.
But for the time being, that's under wraps.
No peeking.
As it's time to reveal their new digs to Tori and Grant.
Open your eyes. Casa del MythBusters.
Where Kari has one more surprise.
These are for your video diaries.
Oh boy, so we're gonna get drunk and then videotape ourselves?
Absolutely.
That could be damaging. All right, so for tonight, what are we doing?
Okay, well tonight is the control test. So you're staying completely sober, just keep yourselves occupied, and in the morning we'll come back and do all the baseline tests.
With that, Kari heads home and the guys settle in for some entertainment.
MythBusters! I like when they fight and throw stuff while they're making motorcycles.
After turning in at midnight, it's only 6 hours before Kari arrives with just what this myth needs.
Time for science!
More cowbell.
Why must you torture us like this?
Science doesn't sleep.
Kari wastes no time getting their tired but hangover-free baseline controls. First up, it's the bright lights till they can stand it no longer.
Ah, there it is. Okay, let's stop there.
Okay, let me check the light.
Then Kari turns up the volume for audio. Both the boys breeze through the memory test and the headache assessment.
1.
A quick pinch and their dehydration control is set.
Because you're hydrated and you haven't been drinking, your skin snaps back to normal very quickly.
And finally, to test their nausea, it's Grant's nemesis, the seasickness chair.
Oh no. No, 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 no.
The last time Grant took a spin, it brought up a few disturbing results. So Kari's taking precautions.
Feeling pretty not so good. Let's stop it here.
Grant manages a baseline of 30 minutes.
Okay,
Why'd you stop it?
because you hit the maximum, it's been an entire hour.
Oh.
Unsurprisingly, they both did well on their control tests. They weren't bothered by the noise or bright light, they weren't dehydrated, and their brains were functioning better than expected.
So Kari just ran us through a whole bunch of tests, and they were very annoying. And this is doing it without a hangover. I can't imagine how bad it's gonna be when we're hungover.
Yep, this is gonna get ugly once the drinking starts. Beer, supposedly the nectar of the gods. It's the world's oldest and most widely consumed alcoholic beverage. But does a night on the amber liquid leave you in a better state the morning after than mixing your drinks? With their hangover-free baseline done and dusted, it's time to wet the whistle.
All right, time for science.
Finally, we can start drinking. All right, so what's the deal?
I'm gonna keep track of how many beers you guys drink. Drink as many as you think it's gonna take for you guys to get hangovers, and we'll have the same amount of alcohol when we do the beer mixing with the spirits.
With Kari keeping track, the boys don't waste any time beering up.
Check this out.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer MythBusters.
because the goal of this experiment
Can I get another round of science from me and my buddy here?
is drinking enough to get hungover.
Hey, darling, can I get another one?
Something they're not happy about.
Beer.
We're not even that far in.
I know, but science ain't pretty.
Remember, Tori and Grant don't need to drink the same amount as each other. The crucial thing is that they drink the same volume of alcohol for this test and the mixed drinks test.
Touch your nose with your left hand. Very good. All right, now with your right.
After a solid session of 11 beers for Tori and 5 for Grant, it's clear that tomorrow morning is going to be bad.
Okay, so they've had enough beers to get them sufficiently hungover for tomorrow.
Not even
yet.
close.
Almost.
So I'm gonna leave the EMT in charge. I'm gonna go home and get a good night's sleep. Oh my God! Make sure they don't hurt themselves, Kevin. Bye.
With Kari gone and our EMT Kevin in charge, Tori has a sudden thirst for redecorating.
You know, I was thinking what this room needs is maybe another door or a fire escape, perhaps.
And that's got Grant worried.
He just comes through and he's like, he's angry. I'm not angry. He's like the Hulk. He wants to smash everything. I don't know what to do.
At midnight, with the final beer tally at 14 for Tori and 6 for Grant, they turn in.
Hopefully, in the best case scenario, I have a hangover and I'm ready to test tomorrow morning, which is gonna suck. Good night.
And just like the control, after 6 hours of peaceful slumber, Kari returns.
It is really early in the morning, and I bet the boys have a pretty kickin' hangover by now. I'm about the last person they want to see. Rise and shine! It's morning time! Good morning, MythBusters!
There's no denying that the boys are hungover.
Ugh, everything hurts right now, though.
My head is physically throbbing. It feels like it's like...
But it's over to Kari to assess just how bad they're feeling. First to face the tests is Tori. He's blinded by the light.
Okay.
Right there?
Can't take the audio barrage.
That's a good level. That's a good level.
And is clearly dehydrated.
Definitely slower than yesterday.
Although he does surprisingly well on concentration,
Time's up.
after 2 minutes, he demands the chair stop.
I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
Grant's similar when it comes to light, sound, and dehydration, but flunks the concentration test. And as for the chair, viewers of a nervous disposition look away now.
Just think, when you vomit, the test is over.
Pretty much, I think I was just holding back what was inevitable throughout all the tests. So, you know, I think as soon as I got up, I was feeling pretty queasy. Just sitting in the chair, it's just so many bad memories of it. Couldn't hold it back any longer.
The morning after beer, both the guys' tolerance to light and sound has more than halved. They're at least 4 times more dehydrated, and their nausea is through the roof. Compared to the control, Grant and Tori are badly hungover.
It's fun getting here, but man, now that I'm here, I'm not so happy. Turn that light off now.
Busting myths can be a painful business. Tori and Grant are all too used to putting their bodies on the line to get to the truth. But for this myth, they're getting sloshed for science.
This is good behavior.
And after a couple of days drying out, the boys are back at the bar, ready to buck their spirits up.
Okay, what's the plan?
We're about to mix our spirits with our beer. Now, this is how it breaks down. Here are your charts. Grant, you consumed 3.6 ounces of alcohol cumulatively through your beers. Tori, you consumed 7.968. So for that, it means you, Grant, need to drink 2 beers and 4 shots. Tori, you get to drink 5 beers and 8 shots.
That sounds like I'm gonna die.
It's the exact same amount of alcohol.
And that's key. Despite their reluctance, for a scientific comparison, the guys will drink precisely the same volume of alcohol as test 1, but this time in the form of beer and spirits.
Start date 5/19/09. This is the continuing experiment into beer versus liquor. Our tests have shown that the hangover-inducing machine is fully functional. Enterprise, I need a beer for me and my compadre.
And once the beers have been beamed into their system,
Come here, you beautiful beer.
the chasers are set to stun.
Pour the whiskey, Red.
Yeah, give me a shot of tequila.
Remember, the guys have eaten exactly the same thing as the previous test day, started drinking at the same time, and are proceeding at the same rate. The only difference here is the mix of alcohol.
At this same point, the other evening with beer, I was, surfing the couch. We were kicking holes in walls. We were doing all kinds of crazy stuff. But now, I'm feeling pretty good.
Walk the line, Imahara. It's a fine line. Walk it.
I don't even think we're close to hangover drunk yet.
But a few drinks later,
All right, so I've had 5 beers. So I've had 5 beers and 8 shots. I've had 5 beers and I've 8 now. So I've had 5. Come on, you guys. Give me a little break.
I think what Tori's trying to say is that the alcohol is working.
Whoa! What it do?
My job as executor of the alcohol is finished. They have both ingested their allotted amount for the evening. Now I'm happy to say it's time for me to go home because they're starting to get a little crazy.
Indeed, excessive consumption of alcohol can impair judgment
Throw your head back if you can't throw the glass.
and lead to recklessness.
All right, look like it's time to go to bed. It's time for bed.
And it goes without saying, please don't try that at home.
I've completed the equivalent amount of alcohol to the beer-only test, which is 2 beers and 4 shots.
I'm a little hammered right now, I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully the hangover won't be worse. But that's it. Good night.
I'm going to sleep now. Okay, good night.
Sleep tight, because tomorrow it all starts again. First, Grant and Tori stuck to beer.
And I can't do this anymore.
Then last night it was beer and liquor. So if the myth is right, this morning they should be feeling a lot sicker.
Here we go again. This is the final day, the final wake-up call for the boys in the testing of the myth, will beer and liquor make you sicker? I've got all of my testing equipment ready, and we're gonna go wake the boys up now. Good morning, MythBusters. It's time to start science.
And while Tori is certainly worse for wear,
I feel like somebody has hammered a 10-inch spike into my head.
Grant is a different story.
Grant, are you awake? Grant. It's gotta be worse than the siren.
I got news for you. I'm awake and I'm not hungover.
Hold on there, Mr. Imahara. Explain yourself.
For whatever reason, the same amount of alcohol divided between beer and hard liquor is much easier on my system than just straight beer. On the straight beer, I was kind of, doing all kinds of crazy things, but with the liquor, with the hard alcohol shots, I feel that I remained fairly lucid throughout the evening. And when I went to bed, I was like, I probably could do more, but I had to stop because we have to stop at the same amount of alcohol. Well, we'll see.
Indeed we will, because just like the last time, Kari is putting her guinea pigs through their hungover paces.
I think I'm never gonna drink again.
Ooh, that's a good sign of a hangover.
Wink.
Okay, grab the light meter and put it next to your face.
Copy.
Okay.
It's obvious Grant isn't suffering too badly. He's not bothered by the light or sound, he has no headache, and he performs much better on the memory test.
And time.
Tori's sensitivity to light and sound is better than on beer, but he's still just as dehydrated.
Ew.
Creepy.
And his headache rating?
I'm gonna have to give it a 9.
Ooh, good.
Yeah, it's hurting pretty good.
However, when it comes to the regurgitron,
I do find myself taking a lot of deep breaths, so it's kind of like a ride.
his tolerance to the barfometer is through the roof. And as for Grant,
Okay, full spin. But pretty much, you've already surpassed your last test.
Yep, he not only exceeds his beer hangover score, amazingly, he matches the time set on his hangover-free control.
That's it, I'm calling it. You hit your control marker, and you haven't vomited.
Well, all right. Guess the beer before liquor didn't make me sicker.
That's amazing. I have not only heard that rhyme my whole life, I've totally thought it was true. I mean, we need to get all the numbers in to double check all the data, but I mean,
Yeah,
just seeing you and Tori,
the bucket is clean.
the bucket speaks.
Indeed. And although we don't usually take our cues from buckets, this one might be onto something.
Can you turn those lights up a little bit? Look, they seem a little dim. So I've just finished the last day of testing of which gives you the worst hangover. And you know what? I'm gonna have to say, beer and liquor, never sicker, it doesn't seem to be the case. I mean, right now I have a crazy splitting headache, way worse than I did when I drank the beer. But overall, I feel much better than when I drank just beer. But you know, we won't know for sure until we look at all the data. But right now, I don't know, this saying doesn't look like it's true.
And the data backs Tori up. On light, sound, concentration, headache, dehydration, and nausea, Grant improved significantly. And while Tori's headache was more severe and his dehydration on par, on every other test, he did better than on beer alone. So what does that all mean for the morning after myth?
Well, you know, to be honest, I felt a lot better after the test where you mix beer and alcohol.
Yeah, but for both of you, in almost every single test, you improved from the beer hangover.
You know, these are really surprising results. This one's looking busted.
Yeah, stick to beer, you're in the clear. Beer and liquor, never sicker. Pfft, busted.
Busted. And you know what? That's it for me and beer.
Forever?
Okay, maybe just this week.
Attaboy.